I'm Just Saying is sponsored by Zone Delivery USA. Fresh, healthy meals delivered to your door. For more information, go to zonedeliveryusa.com. Hover.com. Go to gfq.hover.com and get 10% off your entire purchase. And by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook by going to audiblepodcast.com/GFQ. Hey everyone, welcome to I'm Just Saying week 56. I'm Andrew Zarian, joined by Lon Blaze.
Yeah, that'd be me. I'm not Andrew Zarian.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
You're positive?
Yeah, and at this point of time, I'm surprised that I know even that.
We were gone for a long time.
Yeah, I was unfamiliar. I wasn't quite sure who you were when you opened the door.
Well, I took off for about... How many days did I take off? I took off about 10 days.
I really think that I should escape from the planet during the month of April.
Why?
April is just a horrible month. Always is. Joe has the worst conversion from winter to spring. She's just in migraine hell now, and she's like loopy and unhappy, and I always feel
I've been
guilty.
follling her on Facebook, and it's never happy.
No, and how do I say this and not sound awful? But you know, I'm out tonight, and it feels great to be out of the house because she's so unhappy, and it isn't because I don't want to deal with it. It's because when I do deal with it, I feel like I don't ever get any chance to make her better. And that was the frustration when she was ill, and it reminds me of when she was ill, and it.
Yeah.
So my good time always always includes my own guilt. If I'm having a good time, I feel guilty.
It is a bad month because I have bad allergies too, so it kicks in and it kicks in bad. I've been very lucky this year because it's almost May and I haven't suffered. And
the temperature's been like a roller coaster.
It's been freezing.
It's been freezing and then warm and then cold and then warm and then cold and then rainy and then sunny and then I've been doing most of my training indoors.
Really? Because, it's been crappy out.
Yeah.
Well, you lost a lot of weight.
I'm down 20 pounds now since the freak.
Well, how long ago? That was about a month.
Yep.
So that's not bad. In a month,
a couple days more than a month, I've lost 20 pounds. And I've been training. I'm now up to 35 miles a day, closing in on 40 miles a day on the bike. So that this coming Sunday, I start the ride. The AIDS ride or the replacement ride, because normally the ride's in California, but I'm doing it in New York because when it happens in California, I'll be in Europe. To everyone following that geography. But I'm going away at the end of May, and the ride is in June, and
Wow.
So my first time in Europe.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
First time I don't know. I've never had the urge to travel. I mean, you guys have traveled, right?
Yeah.
You guys go around.
And we really like to travel. And we actually had planned this before, and Joe got sick, and this is what happens to us. So the plan is that I make it to Europe this time.
That's fun.
And what's really awful is that, we also make the contingency plan is what if she's sick? Yeah. And if she's sick, I go to Europe by myself.
Oh, she wouldn't go if she's not feeling that well?
Yeah, and she wouldn't say like, well, let's eat 2 tickets,
Yeah. Well, she wouldn't. Well, could she?
I would have to bring back.
Could she push through the trip? Do you think? I mean,
it depends on how she is.
Because she's tough. Maybe she would suck it up for herself.
Yeah, one of those things that if she's bad as she's leaving, she won't go. If she's bad, if she gets bad during the trip, she would push through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was, in essence, she'd suck it up in the middle, but she wouldn't suck it up in the beginning.
At the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, no.
That's tough.
She would make me bring home like the biggest doggy bag in the world.
We're talking about food. What did you do for Easter? Did you guys do anything?
Nothing
at all.
Nope.
I thought you guys do something on Easter every year.
No, we never do.
You don't do anything with family?
No.
You should have come over. I had no idea.
Well, I'm like nursing a cold, and it just didn't seem like I should go. And
we did a very small Easter this year. Generally, we always have a big Easter, but everybody split up and did their own thing. It was like 4 people.
Yeah, well, it was also a weird day because our housemate Phyllis.
Yeah.
Her mom passed away yesterday. Yeah. She was mom had turned very ill the week before, so Phyllis flew out to Wisconsin, and we should all be this lucky. She was there when her mom passed, and had some closure with mom.
I feel so bad. You just told me before, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
How is she handling it?
I don't know. Phyllis is a pretty stoic person.
Mm-hmm.
So stoicism can be like catatonia too. You know, so we'll have to keep an eye on her. I don't know when she'll be back. I've made the offer of going out to Wisconsin when I get back from Europe to, out pack the house and stuff.
Yeah,
if they need.
It's a lot of funerals. Jessica's gone to like 3 or 4 of them in the last week. I mean, it's crazy.
It's I said it's a weird month. Both Joe and I, in the last 4 days, have heard from no less than like 8 long ago boyfriend and girlfriends.
Really?
Just like, hi, how you doing? What's up?
Maybe that text message was from an ex-girlfriend of mine, because I really thought it was Joanna. And
Joanna's an ex-girlfriend of yours?
No, I'll tell you what happened.
Okay. Long story.
Long story. Really long story. Summer of 82.
Okay.
I got a text message.
Like a year before you were born?
Yeah, 2 years before I was born. I got a text message from somebody, and he said, babe, are you okay? Is everything fine? And I said, everything is fine. Who is this? And then I felt bad because I saw the first couple of letters, the numbers were like Joanna's numbers.
You should pursue this. Obviously, it's someone who cares.
It's someone who cares. So,
yeah, so that's nice.
But I'm curious, maybe it was a wrong message. Maybe it was something I put on Facebook, because I said I'm having a really hectic week. So I'm still curious on who it was. And I thought it was Joanna because, you guys always comment to see if everything is okay, if everything is fine.
We're like that.
And now I'm going to lose my mind because I have no idea who it is, and nor will I ever find out, apparently.
Oh. Are you... Well, I figured that we have to take care of you in a sense because you don't know this yet, but because Joe has no parents and because my dad is gone and I have such a dysfunctional relationship with the rest of my family, we'll be moving in with you like in 15 years or so.
Oh, that's fine. There's plenty of room here.
And you'll be, we can merge households and
cover, make like a fort.
Yeah, the dome, the what do they call it? A
canal.
The complex. Yeah.
A compound.
The Zarian compound.
This is a Zarian compound. Yeah.
There you go. And you'll inherit our vast estate.
Oh, that'll be wonderful.
Yeah, okay.
Between you and Spencer, because I'm trying to get in the same thing with Spencer.
Oh, to become inclusive in that?
Yeah, because he doesn't have kids.
We don't have kids, right? We don't have
kids.
He
doesn't have kids, so that's been my goal.
I think this is the smartest thing that a couple like in their 20s or 30s could do, is find a nice old couple that has no kids and be really nice to them. And the moment they start to drool, just take all their money.
That's it. You're fine. Put you in a home, a nice home, though.
Right. But
nice home.
We won't know any better.
Yeah.
We'll just smile and...
Yeah. You know what I've been watching? I got really into Shameless.
Oh, man. Great show.
Such a good show. So you reminded me of the woman they grabbed from the nursing home because they needed to collect the SSI for the woman. And she had no idea where she was or what she was doing. But she was so happy.
Yeah, that's great. Have you watched Californication through?
I'm at the season finale. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, I won't ruin it for you.
I'm at the season
Rosebud
finale.
is the sled.
Oh, God, you've ruined it, Lon. No, it's been a busy week. We took off, but I did a lot of business stuff. And I always tell people, and I get this crap from a lot of people. They go, what do you do that's so hard? You sit here and you speak for, that's all you do. You talk.
Planning, I don't know yet.
And listen, I wish it was that easy.
There's a world, there should be, if I ran the world,
yeah.
Everyone would do everyone else's job for 1 week.
Yeah.
Like that would be college. College would simply be, there would be a year where you would 1 week at a time be a shoe salesman, be a worker at McDonald's, be an executive, because no one understands what anyone else's job is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they just don't. I used to do physical labor, and I was more tired being a teacher.
Sure.
Far more tired being a teacher. Because you know what? When I was lifting boxes...
Mentally, it's exhausting.
Right. Lifting boxes, I wasn't like, box, are you okay?
Yeah.
I have to make sure that your future is good. I just threw it in the back of a truck and took it there.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Others, then I have to care about people. And it's like, and look at me now. Go look at my Facebook thing. What is that? I'm like nearly at 1,100
it's
people.
It's all students.
It's all students, and people go, I broke my toe, and it's like, I'm like, are you okay? Everything all right? Do you need any help? It's what I do. It's probably because I don't have kids.
It's tough. And I was talking to Coco, and Coco goes, how are you so tired? You sit there and you don't really do any labor. And I said, yeah, but Coco, you can't even comprehend half the stuff that needs to be done. Mentally, I'm exhausted. So I had to take a week off of being on air so I could do the stuff that needs to be done for the business. So I had to do my taxes that were a mess.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of paperwork. A lot of legal stuff needed to be taken care of because we've trademarked everything.
Right.
So I pretty much own all rights to anything GFQ.
I want a T-shirt for the cruise.
I'll get you one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you one.
Give me
what
something
size
nice and tight. Get like an extra large.
Okay.
I'll rip off the sleeves.
yeah.
You know, while I'm working off in the. I made sure on the cruise that they have like the right equipment in the gym. So
For you
I'm really
workout.
yeah, because I'm insanely working out.
So, I was explaining to someone. So I took off, and there were a lot of big announcements I have to announce this week. I'm going to hold off because I'm waiting for it to be totally 100% finalized. But the ball has pretty much, it's complete. It's 99% complete. We're also welcoming a new sponsor to the network. Our FreshBooks is starting in May with us. They're going to be joining the GFQ network. Crazy meetings, crazy stuff. It was so exhausting and overwhelming. My vacation alone was so overwhelming. I wish I never went on vacation.
Yeah, I hate going on vacation because I hate prepping for it, and I hate
I worked more than I've ever worked.
picking up my momentum once I'm done with it.
10 days of nonstop working, and then Easter was like the nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah,
because it was just too hectic.
Oh, I'm so glad you invited us over then.
Yeah. Then
let's go watch Andrew be frantic.
Oh my God! I drank myself to sleep yesterday. I gave up on life last night.
I have now gone through Valentine's Day and Easter without eating a piece of candy.
How do you do that? Well, do you have a sweet tooth? Are you
Oh, no. See, I'm a kind of all or nothing kind of guy.
Okay.
So I have to have nothing. I can't go, have this little egg. Nope, not going to happen. I am trying to, I'm down like 18 pounds now. I want to do another 16 before I go on the cruise, but I have the bike ride next week, which, by the way, let me put in parentheses. Any of you out there who haven't supported the bike ride, please go to my Facebook page, join up. I have the link to my ride. All I'm asking is for 340 more people to give me $5, and that'll put me toward my pledge goal. Okay, that's it.
You've collected a lot too.
Yeah, I'm at $3,300, but
wow,
I pledged $1,700.
Okay.
I pledged 5,000, and I'm 1,700 away from it.
Okay. So
but
what happens when if you don't reach it?
There's this troop of guys that hunt me down and like put a hurt on me. No, nothing really. It's just like to me, my feeling is if you want to raise $5,000, say you want to try and raise $10,000, and I didn't do that.
It's a lot of discipline, Lon. You got to have a lot of discipline to do what you do. It's a lot of work and effort.
Yeah. Well, what's so funny is that like May 8th, on my calendar for May 8th, which is the day after I finish, is I have to write a proposal for the 50 state rides.
Mm-hmm.
Like the day after I finish a 545-mile ride, I'm on to the next ones.
It's a lot of work,
and I'm working on my Russian accent.
For what?
I got cast in a movie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Joe and I both got cast in the same movie.
What's the movie?
It's a political thriller, science fiction kind of thing. I play a Russian gangster, and Joe is playing the main character's doctor.
Really?
So Joe in a lab coat.
Does she have to do a Russian accent too? Or
No. She's American.
That's crazy.
And our director is this guy who's got like sort of a Beatles British accent. And he uses all kinds of British phrasing and stuff. He's really, really funny.
Well done, you. Well done, you.
Yeah.
He'll probably say something like that. It has to be. I always wonder on the set of the movies when you're filming, how different is it from theater?
Oh, God.
Does it?
Well, one, it's all out of order.
What do you mean? Oh,
they don't
like
film
the
in
scenes.
sequence. They don't film in sequence. They film the last scene first, the middle scene second.
So how do you get into the role if you're not following any kind of
acting in movies is way different than acting in theater. Theater, you follow a line. Do you know what I mean? You follow the character development. You feel that. In the movies, this is why if you if you ever watch a television show over time, the character will become more like the actor. You'll see the actor like on a talk show.
Yeah.
And you'll see, wow, he's not really acting because he's behaving. Joey on Friends is acting just like Matt LeBlanc. Because what they do is you have to rely on what you know best, which is yourself.
Well, you like the older of an actor you get, you kind of become a bad stereotype of who you are.
Yeah, you become
like Pacino is Pacino in every movie.
Yeah, he's
you're just out of control.
Yeah. Everyone, well, the best in that ever was Sammy Davis Jr. Sammy Davis Jr. was just like an impersonation of himself from about 6 months into his career.
I don't know. So when you're shooting, how do you keep that character going if you're shooting the middle of the movie?
You'll shoot for 2 hours. You'll shoot one scene for 2 hours, and then you'll take an hour off while they switch the cameras and the lights to film that same scene again for 2 hours from another angle. Wow. Because that's what it is boring.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Filming film is boring, but more people get to see it. And what people like about that acting is, I want to do that piece again. I want to do that piece again. And what you're trying to do is not do a good performance that day. You're trying to do a good performance that shot. Ooh, we'll use the second shot we did because that worked really well.
But here's one thing, okay? There are days where I'm not in a great mood or something happened or I'm kind of, taken away from that role. How do you make sure that you're constantly, in it? How do you make sure you're having a good day every day?
This is the type of acting class that Joe takes. I work with someone different, but the type of acting class that Joe takes is that she goes into a scene or a day's work and she will obviously there's company here.
Yeah.
That's the alarm dog.
Alarm. Now here she comes. Okay, she's ready now.
Okay, and she's back in the chair. If right now you were in a terrible mood, Andrew, and then Jess came in and went, "Oh my God, we've won the lottery," you would still be coming from a place where you were in a really bad mood.
Yeah,
that's real. You know what I mean? So if I'm tired, all I do is take Lon tired and react as the character. That's real. You're just in a mood one day and things happen to you. You don't go, "Oh, if this happens to me today, I will react this way." You don't know how you're going to react. You kind of let it happen to you. It's very, very in the moment film.
Yeah.
And that's how you make it real, which is why you do 1,000 takes, because every time you do one of those takes, you're in a better mood because your camera guy just told you a joke. Another time you're in a bad mood because you just stubbed your toe on the camera as you were walking in, and you just react. And
that's why it's such a big deal when a theater.
Doing a film is like putting a piece, like little pieces together. It's like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
Whereas doing theater is like you are painting your own picture.
I would imagine it's harder for someone that does film to go into theater because there are no second takes.
They are two different kinds of acting, which makes me respect a lot people like Kevin Kline or Meryl Streep who go back and forth to both of them. And what's really interesting is my acting teacher comes from a TV and film background.
Yeah.
And it's the reason I ticked with him, because I have so much theater background that I had training there that I wanted film and television training. What's interesting is if you go see an actor that's normally on TV doing theater, and you sit in the back of the audience, you'll think that actor or actress is not great. But if you sit in the first couple of rows, you'll go, "Wow, they're really good," because to act for the camera is very small. You just shift your eyes on camera, you can say 1,000 things. But on stage, if you want that same effect, you have to kind of move your head.
Yeah,
huge, And the opposite is true. When you take people who are used to only being on stage and you put them on camera, they look gigantic. They look absurd. They look like cartoons. I did. That acting teacher accused me of being kabuki, like gigantic Japanese theater. And when he showed the playback of stuff that I did on tape, it was true. It was so hard to watch myself when I first started.
It was too over the top.
Oh God, it was awful. And remember, when I turned 50, I said I was going to do all these things, and I did. And one of the things is I took this guy's class, as a present to me, and it's a 4-day class. And the history of anyone who's ever taken this class, I don't mention his name because he doesn't ask. He asks me not to, which is really kind of funny because he's a humble guy. But he reminds me a lot of Richard Dreyfuss, kind of arrogant, New Yorkie, and
he's
kind of
like
thing.
one of those.
Yeah,
okay.
and he can be really biting, but always very sweet. he was the one. He stopped me at one point.
You suck. Here's a soda.
Yeah, kinda. You know, in his class, generally, there's this giant fear that the first day you're gonna suck. It's a 4-day class, and sometimes on the first day you don't suck, and you know what your feeling is after not sucking the first day. All you're thinking is, oh, I'm gonna suck tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're never happy. So I walked in on this right after my 50th birthday. It was July, like a month after I turned 50. I took the class, and I walked in and I had a great day one. And I went, if I have one great day,
you're happy.
This has been great. Yeah. I walk in day 2, ready to suck, and I have a great day 2. And I'm like, even better. Half the time I will have been good.
Yeah.
Day 3, I walk in, I have another great day. And I went, you know what? Now I'll be a little depressed because I won't be able to carry it through. Day 4, I have the best day I ever have in his class.
Yeah.
And that's when he calls, and he's an expert at stopping the film right as you're going, things like, and your eyes are closed, and your mouth is like, and it's a really horrible thing. And he stopped me, and I'm like, oh God. And I'm ready for him to lace in.
Yeah.
And he laces in with really incredible constructive criticism, but he's very snarky. You know what I mean? Sort of so that he can grind his point in. You know? It's like he slaps you and then rubs where he slapped you kind of thing. Well, I go like this, and he said, so how many of you have taken a class with Lon before? And like 3 or 4 people went, and he said, do you remember when he started? Because he was kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kabuki. And everyone in the class went, ooh. like that really, really hurt. I'm thinking, oh my God. I did all this great work, and I've resorted back to as if I've never taken a class with him. And he played this scene. He said, I'm just going to let this play. And I'm thinking, he's just going to watch me torture myself while I go through this. And it was one of the best pieces of tape that exists of me as an actor. I had 4 great days. And he said, and I finish, and he's like, congratulations. I'm glad this was such a good week for you. And like, and I'm like walking out the door. I'm having like the best day. He goes, you realize this will never happen again.
What an ass. That's great.
But he's a great ass. It's like, what it is don't get cocky. Yeah. That's really what it means.
Oh, that's great.
You know? Oh yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I want to take a little break and talk about our sponsor, Hover.com. Domain names made simple. I've been using Hover for how long? A couple months now. And I've nearly converted every one of my domains over to them because it's unbelievable to deal with them. There's no constant upsell, no email blast telling you to get this new domain ending. You never get that from Hover. They're there to give you one thing only. That's great service for your domain names. If you go there right now, you can get a 10% discount if you go to gfq.hover.com, or you could go to hover.com and put in promo code GFQ upon checkout to get 10% off. They also are offering free concierge service for domain transfers. So if you're with those other guys and you're not satisfied with what's going on, maybe they've killed an elephant or 2, I don't know. You could go right over to Hover. You're not going to lose the existing time that you have on that domain. It's a $10 charge for that 1 year of service, which is a great deal. Plus, of course, the promo code, so you're getting another $1 off. And they'll honor the time that you had, and they make it extremely easy. So you could call them up. You could take care of it. And it's a 1, 2, 3 thing. Go to gfq.hover.com and get started. Domain names made simple. Hover.
Very cool.
Have you checked out Mob Wives?
Yes. Did you see my comment about them?
No, I did not.
On Facebook?
By the way, Chauncey, from what I know, will be interviewing each of them for the next couple of weeks. Now, before he interviews...
They're men. They are men.
They are men.
They are like sophisticated trannies.
They are... And before I meet them, because I'm sure when I meet them, my judgment of them is going to totally change.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm going to say, oh, they're sweethearts, and I'm going to kiss their ass. But I am terrified of them, number one. Terrified of them. You know...
Doesn't one of them remind you of my wife's best friend?
Yes.
Yeah, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, huh? Yeah, huh?
They are... I don't know who's more terrifying on that show.
What I love is like that they hate each other, but they film a promo where they're walking down
the street
together. You know, it's like...
Yeah.
It's so set up. It's like... I'm amused and like annoyed by reality TV.
I sat there and I watched
time.
it all. I saw the coming attractions for it, and I found it interesting that some of the names I recognize because you're in New York, so you hear it. You used to hear it all the time. And one of them is what is it? Vinny the Bull Gravato.
Sammy the Bull
Gravato's sister, daughter. And Sammy the Bull turned on Gotti. He was a murderer. The guy had killed millions of people. Not millions of people, by the way. Not millions of people, because that is virtually impossible for a dummy from
But not
Bensonhurst.
fully impossible.
Not fully impossible. He killed a ton of people, and he turned on the mob, and he went into witness protection, and he moved to Arizona, and then he got busted on a ecstasy charge. He was selling ecstasy. He was creating and selling ecstasy in the clubs.
Well,
he's in jail now.
In Arizona, you kind of need that.
Yeah, you live in there. Now the
we
daughter
are so
comes
New
in.
Yorkers sometimes. We are guys from Queens. We really are.
So the daughter comes back, and the daughter knows these ones, and they grew up, and they're related to the mob, and one married a mob guy, and the other one was involved in the mob.
What I love is that one of them is like, really piss off A if I invite B.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. It's
like,
what is that? What kind of friend are you?
Here's my theory on this. I don't think any of them were in the mob. I think they all suffer from severe mental
Well, if
disabilities.
they are, they're like low rung. They are like the McDonald's cashiers.
Aren't you not supposed
of
to talk
organized,
about it? See, that's what I'm talking about. Aren't you not supposed to talk? First of all, I being in New York and being from Queens, John Gotti's home, I can tell you there's no such thing as a mob. There never has been a mob. It's a fantasy. Before we continue. But if there was a mob, aren't you not supposed to talk about who went to jail for what and who's involved with what and what you've done? I mean, how can they...
Yeah.
That's the... If I was involved in it, I would never talk about it.
Not only are they talking about it, but they are talking about something that they are by the honor code not supposed to talk about. And in talking about it, wearing it like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, my man is in town doing 20 years. So there. Yeah. And then they're mad that their husband... Did you see the guy ordering like sausages from the wife?
I saw the one ordering pears.
Yeah.
And then he was lying. He had no idea when he was getting out of jail. He's like, so when are you getting out of jail? You should be getting out soon. He's like, I'm going up against the parole board. When are you going to get out if they say no?
Okay.
2, 3,
at the risk
4,
of getting
5,
myself
6 years.
beat up by 4, manly women, if you were married to one of those, wouldn't you kind of want to be in jail?
I don't know how
you could operate. You could operate. The family from inside the jail.
One, the pretty one. What is she? She's a blonde, or she?
Yeah, blondish. Yeah.
She is terrifying. Well, she's not Italian. She's Albanian, and she married an Italian mob guy.
Yeah.
She is,
and she got disowned by the
family.
Right. She got disowned by her Albanian family, which makes her allegiance to this family even more so because she needs to have family.
What a crazy broad. I mean, she's nutty.
Right. But what I love is that they were sitting around talking about how angry they were at their men for being in jail, and yet talking about how attracted they are to that kind of man.
I can't believe that. That was the most amazing part. How I'm getting messages, by the way, while we're doing the show from the
mob wives.
I have no idea who this is. Oh, I'm gonna pick up some beer on the way over here. I'll pay you when you get here. Kieran from Lunatic Radio. So just putting out the message.
I've never made you pick up beer.
No,
I just want you to remember that as
I'm their boss.
As I move into your house in 15 years, okay? I just want you to know that.
I just find it amazing how they behave, these people. These people are just lunatics. Lunatics. But you know what I was wondering? They all live in really nice homes. They're in Staten Island, so it's a little but they live in really nice homes. Where is the money coming from for this house? I mean, because all four of them, one is divorced. One was married to the guy and is divorced. The other one married a mob guy, is in jail, got divorced. The other one is still married to the one, and the other one, I don't know if you ever see their home, but
I'm so proud of my man. I love my man. What am I supposed to tell my kids that you're in jail? I love that. It's like, well, I thought you were proud of him.
Yeah, I don't know. And I was asking Jess, I said, well, if I went to jail on a racketeering charge, embezzlement. I don't know, for a year. Would you stay with me? She said, yes, I would stay with you. I said 2 years. She goes, I'd probably stay with you. 3 years. She goes, absolutely not.
So you've set out the parameters, you know.
Yeah, I could go to jail for 2 years for racketeering.
Nice.
The woman that was
nice to know your parameters.
The girl that's
Andrew, you're way too pretty to go to jail.
I know.
Just don't get in trouble. Do
God,
not get in trouble.
I'm dead. I'm dead if I go to jail.
Yeah.
I would have to act crazy. I think that's the only way I would survive.
Yeah, probably. Not only you're supposed to get beer, they want pretzels.
I don't
Is
know.
that the message?
Let's see this. Hang on. Let's see.
This just in.
I love you.
Same guys?
Yeah, same guys.
Because you're getting beer?
Yeah, because I'm getting beer.
See, you don't have to get me beer for me to love you. So just want you to know that.
But about these girls now, I wonder what's going to happen if there's any kind of backlash that's going to come from this. Because even when you saw Growing Up Gotti, they never discussed the mob. This is kind of
proof that how not in the family they are. Because if they could go on and organize a show, the mafia is sort of sitting around laughing at them. Do you know how much the mafia has adapted to their portrayal of themselves in the media? Yeah. Like gangsters would go see like James Cagney movies and Edward G. Robinson movies and go, look at the way they dress. That's cool. Yeah. Let's dress that way. Yeah. They never dress like that, but they dress like, you know, Italian immigrants. The Godfather is a really good depiction. They're sitting in wife beaters playing cards in a tenement apartment. Yeah. They're not sitting around with the fedoras and slick suits. Yeah. They didn't.
Well, you know who really... Al Capone was one of the only ones that was, you know, he always looked...
But he was reacting to the movies too.
To the movies. And Gotti was reacting to him.
Right.
Gotti was, you know, he was a media guy. He loved the attention of the media. And I was thinking, well, if you're committing crimes, isn't it weird to have the media in front of you? I mean, don't you not want that attention if you're involved in something that's such a...
I keep waiting for all the mafias to merge.
Into one super mafia?
Yeah, like I want the Russian, Japanese, Italian, and Gay Mafia all together.
The Gay Mafia?
Yeah. Do you don't know there's a Gay Mafia?
No, I didn't know that.
The Gay Mafia is what they refer to in show business. Like if I go in and audition for something because I'm not gay, the likelihood of my not getting... I've actually been told by someone who was gay that my not being cast in a show was because I wasn't gay.
Can you gay it up a little bit?
Any more than this? Come on.
A little bit more. You could up you could up it just a little bit more.
Actually, they were very good.
Start singing show tunes.
The person, and you know what? I totally kind of get it. You know what I mean? I actually auditioned for the part of a guy who thought he was Tennessee Williams, who was gay, and the rest of the cast was gay, and I kind of get it. You know what I mean? I mean, I didn't like it. I wish I had gotten the role, but I kind of got it. Did I think it was fair? No, but I kind of got it.
I wonder if it's interesting because if a gay guy plays, you know, the role of a straight man, it's kind of acceptable. Well, he's playing a straight guy. But if a straight guy plays the role of a gay guy with Heath Ledger and Brokeback, they got so much slack for that.
Well, they got slack, but they also get like, wow, look at that stretch for him to play.
Yeah.
But for someone to stretch to play a gay guy to play a straight guy, it's like, well, that's kind of only natural. Yeah. You know, but it's really acting for me to be gay.
I want to play a mob wife. That's what I want to play in a movie.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
I don't think you look tough enough, honey.
I want to butcher the English language more than I do so.
Butch is what you would have to do to play the role. You'd have to butch it up a little,
Andrew,
to play one of the mafia.
She goes, you know what I did with your pears? I ate it. I ate your pears. And she's screaming at the I'm like, what a ridiculous conversation she's having. She's screaming at the guy and saying, I ate your pears. You don't deserve to eat.
Well, you know, I think we all know people who, you know, women who just love the bad boy. You know, just love the bad boy. And then get the bad boy and then get pissed off.
That? What's appealing about that? Listen, I'm a little rough around the edges. I clean up for the air, but I'm a little rough around the edges. But I could go...
Me too. I'm way, way, way tougher in person.
Yeah.
I am like...
I could change my oil. I could do construction. But I'm not an asshole. Like, I'm not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like a combination.
I don't walk around with like a shank. Well.
I used to say when I was a teacher that you could like hack off my arm with a rusty hatchet and I'd duct tape it off and keep going, you know. But you read the right poem to me, I'll cry like a schoolgirl. You know, that's who I am.
I don't know. I can't understand. You know what I think it is? I think it's the environment. These women, and I apologize in advance for saying this, I think are mentally ill. Because...
But everyone's mentally ill, Andrew. Except you and me, and I'm not all that sure about you.
I would... It's not a normal thing to want to fight. You shouldn't want to fight with everybody. You shouldn't want to have an argument with everybody. There are times...
No one does anything without the thought that they're gaining something. They are doing that because they believe they're gaining something.
Well, because they see as saying, okay, you know what? I'm not going to fight with you as a sign of weakness. That's the problem.
Exactly.
They see it as a major sign of weakness. If you don't fight with them and you calm the situation down, you are looked at as weak.
Right. Exactly.
What makes you feel that way? I don't know. You know, that's a mental illness to me.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't... You're two grown women with children. Why are you fighting in a nightclub? Why are you in a nightclub fighting?
Because, okay, in the end, this is one where
Product
we've
of
always
the
talked
environment.
about. Well, product of the environment. But even if you are passive-aggressive and do it that way, everyone is constantly in a battle trying to... Everyone's in a battle.
It's an email now.
Oh, it's an email now.
Yeah.
What kind
Kieran
of beer?
Kieran says he's mentally ill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good enough. Good to know. Everyone is in a constant battle between trying to be happy and trying to be right.
Yeah.
You know, and there are people that don't know how to choose happiness. They don't know. And the thing is that people think happiness comes to them. You choose happiness. You and I can go through the same thing. You and I can go through the Holocaust. You and I can go through having our spouse killed. You and I can go through a major automobile accident and react totally opposite of one another, having gone through the same experience.
Yeah.
You know, the one I always say is that this is something that I get from my acting teacher. The universe is a constant, and the only thing that differs is our perspective on it.
See, I may, like I said, it's a product of the environment, but I may be a product of my environment because the crazy blondish one, I am extremely attracted to that.
Oh yeah, she's very hot.
But the whole personality, just the craziness, I don't know why. And I know it's not a normal way of behaving, but I find that attractive. I find her nutty, crazy, screaming thing attractive.
Here's my descent into the lesser Lon Blaze. I so could fuck her.
Yeah.
But I'd have to leave in the morning. Or I'd have to make her leave. I'd have to, like, not let her know what my forwarding address and phone number were. I could definitely do that because crazy is very hot. But crazy is good for hot sex for a night. Crazy does not a relationship make.
I dated a girl. She was just like that. She was one of those. And I dated her for about a month. And I was so exhausted by day 15. But I just couldn't let go because it was just so crazy. She was so nutty. I don't know what it was. I was so fascinated by it. I think the same way with women and men. I think you try to change them. You try to change them into what you think, you know. And this girl was damaged goods. I mean, in every possible way. Damaged goods in every way. In a way, you say to yourself, she doesn't know better. And you kind of feel bad for her. You treat her like a puppy, you know, like a misbehaving puppy. I think it goes both ways. I think a lot of these women that are with a guy that's in jail, I think they look at it as, well, they don't know better. They might get better. You know, with training. Maybe I'll train them to be better.
Right. Well, so many of...
At age 45, there's no training.
Oh, I know.
You know, this guy, one of the guys been in and out of jail. The blondish one,
Andrew,
they got
how old
married.
are you now? 27?
27.
27?
Yeah.
What would it take for me to change some core aspect of your personality? Like a gun to the head.
That could...
and even then.
Yeah.
So someone gets to be 45.
I am at 6 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The way I was at 6,
are.
I'm the same person at 6 years old.
The secret to life is finding the people to surround you who would tolerate your bullshit. You know what I mean? And you tolerate their bullshit. That's the deal. Yeah. That's the best that you can do. But you know what? You know what those women found? They found guys whose bullshit they can tolerate. They're always at the breaking point, though. That's it. That's the drama of the TV show. They're always at the breaking point. This could be the week that I tell him to go screw himself.
Yeah.
You know?
It never happens.
No.
It's like the Housewives. I think they're all crazy. They're all nuts.
Yeah.
You look at the conversations. And first of all, I think the Housewives series has become
well,
extremely
two
phony.
of them are going. Washington is gone,
Oh,
and
thank God.
Miami's going.
Oh, they were horrible.
Yeah,
they were horrible. Nobody cares about them. It was
Well-
the worst thing ever.
Well, what they constantly have to do now is they constantly have to elevate the arguments, and then they're ridiculous. You know, the arguments. There are ridiculous arguments. You've been married. You know,
Yeah.
you'll have an argument over something, which of course, when you have it over this minute point,
I got it. I was mad.
It's rarely about that point.
I was angry at Jessica for keeping the fan on in the room because
bastard.
my nose
You
it
bastard.
dries up, and it was a big deal for me. Huge deal.
It's always about your
Yeah.
nose, isn't it?
Always
Andrew?
about my nose. You know what drives me crazy? If something falls, like she'll drop a plate, just I get so mad. I start sweating, and I wonder what happened to
Fucking
me.
gravity.
Fucking gravity. I'll get so mad, and I'm like, why am I getting mad? It's a freaking cup. What's the big deal?
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? That, Andrew, and tell me this isn't all about you. You have found something that you can't control.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fucking gravity.
Yeah. I'm such a control freak. You don't know.
Oh, yeah. I know you. And it's like, what I think is really weird is that you know that I had kind of control of my class. And I think one of the reasons that you and I are friends is that you sort of sit there in fascination because I don't flip out.
Yeah. No. I'll give you an example. Today, I had a very fucking gravity.
You know I did that on
Yeah.
purpose. No.
My entire day was written down today. I had about 6 meetings. I mean, it was crazy day. One of the meetings ran 30 minutes late, and the other meeting got delayed by 2 hours because they had another meeting scheduled. It ruined my day. It crippled me. Around 3:30, I was in a fetal position in the corner because my day was done. Because it screwed up the entire process of what I had imagined.
I really think I need to get into a dark jacket and just the black shirt, just kind of dressed in black with the sunglasses, and trail you. I think I need to be around you because I think I need to be a calming influence, yet look like I'm going to kick the crap out of anyone that bothers you.
You know, I need that. You know, I want to reach that point where I have like a life coach that follows me everywhere to tell me, Andrew, you should be fine.
I'll have the little devil and angel puppet on each of your shoulders. Now, Andrew.
Yeah.
We'll have the angel Andrew and the devil Andrew, and I'll just...
Yeah, they all look the same.
Well,
I look like a magician. I look like a really bad magician with
like
the
a
goatee.
Vegas musician. You just have to go.
With the eyebrows and the goatee.
There you go.
I don't know. It's been one of those weeks, but I spent, even though I had a lot of crazy stuff happen last week and I was working a lot, at night it was my TV time. I watched every series I wanted to watch. I watched all my crappy shows. I watched some horrible TV. Bad documentaries. I watched the worst thing in the world. It was called the True Story of the Mothman. Remember the Mothman prophecy?
Right.
Do you know what that's based off of?
You know what? I used to. Remind me.
The Mothman prophecy is based off of something that happened in West Virginia in the late 60s. Where
Which is pretty much the same thing that's happening now.
Same thing happened now.
Go ahead.
It was a like 36 people reported, or hundreds of people reported a moth-like creature running around the town. So the documentary was about the moth creature. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in the world. It was horrible. And then I watched another documentary about the White family.
No, the Loud family?
No, it was called The Whites. And this family, the father was like a tap dancer, and again, in West Virginia, in like the mountains. And the father was
a lot of call for tap dancers in the hills.
And it was showing how screwed up they are and how backwards this family is and how everybody's on drugs and everybody's, screwing everybody's cousin. It was such a really screwed up documentary, but it was quite interesting to see how bad people live.
I lived in West Virginia for 2 months. Oddest 2 months of my life.
The White family, they live in rural West Virginia, county of Boone. The dancing outlaw was the father.
I told you
mountain dancer.
When people from West Virginia want to tell you what part of the state they live in,
no, how? What
they go like this, because this looks exactly like the shape of West Virginia. Yeah, they go, I'm from over in this part over here.
What part were you staying in, Lon?
We were. You have to reverse it. Yeah, that's the state. We were right here
Right
near
there.
the Virginia border. We were doing the Diary of Anne Frank
Oh
in
my
West
God.
Virginia. We're doing the Jew
Brilliant.
play.
Did you play? Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all are
How'd
doing
it
that
go?
Jew play.
How'd it go for you?
I had to wear the horns, but it was good. It was really weird. Yeah, I got to tell you, West Virginia is the only place in the world where I would get cast as a Jew.
You know, one of my family members moved there, and
It's beautiful.
It was the most stunning place I've ever been.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. He moved right by the mountains, and it was, oh my God, it was amazing.
But it's the
He bought
land
this-
it's the land of fudge and tater tots, and everyone's butt is 2 axe handles wide, and everyone's teeth worse than British. Just you.
It was
We went
amazing.
Joe and I went to because it was the only thing open. Joe and I went to a strip club in West Virginia, and we kept praying that the girls didn't smile.
Oh, is that where the story was?
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know it was there.
Oh man.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
It's
we're
like
living
Deliverance meets Showgirls. It was like, ow, ow.
wrong. I don't know. Maybe we're living wrong. You know. Maybe New York is wrong. I was talking to people.
Oh, New
from
York
LA.
is so wrong.
I know.
It's New York is a prison.
Canada, by the way, that's wrong. I'm moving to Toronto.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going. I'm moving to Canada.
Canada is like America's attic. You go up there and go, wow, I never
It's
knew all this stuff
amazing,
was
I
up
know.
here. That's so
well,
cool.
listen, 2 of our sponsors are from Canada.
Well, good for them. I'm of Canadian heritage.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm French Canadian.
I didn't know that.
You go to Montreal and look up Blaze. There's like 9 pages of us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's not pronounced Blaze. It's pronounced Blay.
It's a
Yeah.
silent S.
Silent
oh,
S.
God, so
Blay.
pretentious.
Blay.
So pretentious.
Monsieur Blay.
I don't know. It's going to be one of those weeks this week.
Oh, I wanted to tell you. This is really cool. Remember the guy we interviewed online on the over the phone?
Yeah.
Doug Gladstone?
Yeah.
Those baseball players?
Yeah.
They got a resolution package.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he part of like the big movement behind it?
Yeah, well, he wrote the book.
Yeah.
The book was called A Bitter Cup of Coffee.
You want to
Everyone
remind
can look it
everybody
up.
what it was?
Yeah, there was this weird, just like there is in Social Security, this sort of donut hole of people that from 1949 to 1978 weren't covered by a certain amount of retirement benefits, and all these people around them were getting benefits when they weren't. And it started off being close to 1,100 people, and by the time the resolution happened, it was down to, I think, just under 870 guys. And, it's not a mountain of money. It's more money than I got. I realize that. But Major League's got a lot of baseball. But it was a really good faith effort. The book's called A Bitter Cup of Coffee. There's a website, abittercupofcoffee.com. And you should read the book. Even though the problem's over, it's amazing how people get trapped in these little
Yeah, it was only,
pigeonholes.
how many people you said? 800?
800. Well, it originally started just shy of 1,100 guys. And, I know that they go, Major League Baseball, those guys are making a fortune. These were guys that weren't making a fortune.
Making nothing at that
And
point.
guys that were playing 1 and 2 more games than them over a season were getting benefits and medical insurance coverage that other guys weren't. Just for like the tiniest of things. And it's almost as if it became a machismo battle. It was a battle between doing what was right and doing what would make people happy. This makes Major League Baseball look really good. It's
Yeah.
taking care of a bunch of guys that are old and dying. You know.
No, that's amazing. I'm glad they're to pass. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So, do you know how much money they're going to be getting?
I don't know. You have to look at like I said, bittercupofcoffee.com. I think he posted the articles, but I mean, I just found out that it happened. I've been following it, and with everything that's been going on at home, I caught up online, and I was like, wow, and I wanted to make sure that I mentioned it today because I'm really proud of Doug, and it's his little. I wish, I hope that I affect the world in that way.
I hope I don't. I don't want to affect the world in any way. I'm realizing I don't want to do anything anymore.
Well, I got all kinds of crap from people because, I want to change the name of Earth Day because Earth Day just happened. I want to change the name of Earth Day because none of us are going to save the Earth. All of us are going to die, and Earth is going to still be here. It's Us Day.
Yeah,
you know
Us
what I mean?
Day, yeah.
It's really Us Day. It's taking care of ourselves to make sure that our kids have a good place to live and all that. But it's not saving the Earth. We're on a very. I've been watching a lot of like nature TV while everyone's been sick, and do you know that the crust of the Earth, if the Earth were an egg, the crust of the Earth would be 10 times thinner than the shell of an egg. in comparison, if you
Yeah,
did
yeah.
the ratio,
By the ratio.
with the ratio, it's much thinner.
Well, that's
We're
why
just
we-
hovering on the surface of a an inferno.
That's why we need to move to Mars.
Yeah,
I mean, Lon. We all know that the moon is going to explode, and the moon controls women's menstrual cycles. We all know that. And when the moon goes away,
Mafia women are from the moon.
women explode, and we have to go to Mars. I once told that to somebody, and they believed me about the moon controlling.
I once told a girl,
cycles.
she knew that the moon affected tides. And we were at the beach, and this was a really good-looking girl too. I'm sitting with her on the hood of a car, and the moon is setting. So it's setting, and we're looking at the ocean. So I said, that's how it affects the tides.
Yeah.
It sets in the ocean, and you know how, like, when you get in the tub, the water rises.
Yeah.
I said that's how the moon affects the tides.
Stupid.
And she was like, "Really?"
I told.
And and the moment I said that, I went, this is a really great joke, and this is really funny, but this just means I can never date this girl now.
Yeah.
Because I can't do stupid. I can't.
I told a girl once that I injured my leg. I was walking with a limp, and they said, "What happened?" I'm like, "I injured my leg. I was qualifying for the Olympics in Athens, and I injured in the 10-meter dive. I have to fly over to Nicaragua to qualify for their to qualify for their team." And they're like, "When are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going in 2 days." And she was so mesmerized by the idea that I'm going to go to all these countries. And I said, I'm going to go country to country to get qualified. And for the remainder of the night, people just came up to me, people that I knew. They're like, "Oh, how's the Olympic thing going?" And I would just tell another story. It's like an ongoing joke now. The 10-meter dive, Lon.
Is that would be your sport?
10-meter dive. Yep, 10-meter dive.
I don't know what I'd really like to do. I'd like to do one of the vaguer ones. I think because it's just so throwing the hammer.
What a stupid sport. What a waste. How much money can that guy make?
Well, that's kind of why I like it. That guy's not doing it for the endorsement contract. He's not doing it because he's going to get a pro hammer throwing contract.
Yeah.
They tried a professional track and field league for a very short period of time.
Nobody's interested.
Yeah, you need something that's short and instantaneous, like a home run or a goal or a touchdown play.
Yeah.
Not like, ooh, he was 3/100ths of a second faster.
All right, let's wrap it up. I have to get out of here. I have to go to Lunatic Radio.
Don't forget the beer.
I have to get them beer. God, what my job is.
We have to start learning the Mafia wives' names and start mentioning them and seeing if
the fat broad, the crazy broad,
the blonde,
the broad with the bad eyebrows, and the broad that was.
If you're Sammy the
Bull's daughter.
If you're Sammy the Bull's daughter, are you like Connie the cow?
Connie the cow. Go to our website, guysfromqueens.com. Also go to streaming site, gfqlive.tv. gfqlive.tv. Yeah. It's not sounding right for whatever reason.
Yeah, I know. I typed it in. I went, I think I spelt it wrong.
We're back after a 10-day hiatus. We were on vacation.
The last thing I'm going to say.
Go right ahead.
Go to www.tofightaids.org. tofighthiv.org. Go to my Facebook page. The link is all over the place. Help me out. Next Monday, when I'm here, I will have pedaled 156 miles already. Okay? So support it. Support it.
Excellent.
Okay?
We'll see you all next week, guys. Good night, everybody.
Good night.